Hello and welcome to today's yoga class, little mini yoga class. So this class is a gentle strengthening class for the hips. And the way I approach that is more of a therapeutic approach where we work really deep into the deeper layers of the tissues. And so, if you don't know me, my name is Tonya. This is Jenny, and I am the founder of yogabytonya.com. So happy to have you here today. So, for today's class, maybe just have a couple blocks handy. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to be using them yet. And we're going to start on our backs. We give Jenny a belly rub. So, we're going to lay on our back. I'm going to offer planting the feet wider than hip width apart and just let the knees rest on one another here. And then you're closing the eyes. Taking a deep, full in breath. And just parting the lips and sighing out the breath. Again, deep in breath into the belly, ribs, and chest. And then exhale, release. One more, just like that. Just allowing the breath to be organic. Allowing the body to settle into the pull of gravity. So just releasing any gripping or tension here. Anchoring to your breath. Anchoring to the one breath. And you're just going to gently open the eyes and begin to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And then on your next inhale, you're just going to take a full body stretch, pointing through the toes, reaching through the fingers. Grab onto your right wrist and gently pull to the left side, side body stretch. And then you're switching, grabbing onto the left wrist and gently pulling it to the right side. And then coming back to center, inhale, hug your knees to your chest. Option here to rock side to side or draw circles or just be static. And then cactusing the arms, exhale the knees to the left. Maybe you look over your right shoulder. Inhale the knees to center, then exhale them to the right. And then inhale back to center. You're going to plant the feet to the mat. So your feet here are hip width apart. You're going to externally rotate your shoulders, finding the four corners of the feet. Inhale, lift the hips up into bridge. And then exhale, release the hips slowly down. And then inhale, lift up. So you're just imagine you're peeling your tailbone up and then working up the spine to lift those hips up. And then release back down, releasing or laying one vertebrae down. She worked down towards the tailbone. One more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, releasing down. Good. And this time we're going to lift the right leg up and release the fingers behind the thigh and just letting the leg rest passively here. And point and flex the toes, or maybe draw some circles with that right toe, foot, and then hinging at the knee. And then holding on to your knee or the back of your thigh, just going to draw some circles with the knee. The left hip stays on the mat. We're just moving the femur head in the hip socket here. And then reverse, go in the opposite direction. And then planting that foot to the mat. Lifting that left leg up and release the fingers behind the thigh and just letting the leg rest passively. And then pointing and flexing the toes. And maybe drawing circles. And reversing. And then hinging at the knee. And then holding on to the knee, just drawing circles with that left hip. Reversing. And then coming back to where your feet are planted to the mat. You're going to bring the soles of the feet, knees wide. So we're basically in a Supta Baddha Konasana here. You're going to press in your feet into one another. You're going to inhale, lift your hips up. So you're coming into a clamshell bridge. Holding, breathing. And then as you exhale, you release your hips down. Inhale, lift your knees up. So your knees internally rotate here, your thighs internally rotate, and your ankles are out wide. So there's like a point here or an arrowhead shape with the knees. And then the soles of the feet come back together and then lift those hips up. Clamshell bridge. Release the hips down, lift the knees up, and then make that triangle with your shin bones here. And then coming back down. Inhale, lift up. We have about 5 of these. And then release down. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, last one. Make it count. Shaking is good. And then release down. You're going to plant the feet together. So option here for 3 spinal rocks. And if that doesn't work for you, we're just going to make our way into tabletop. When you get to tabletop, big starfish hands here. Knees are hip width apart. Inhale, drop your belly, cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really press the mat away, arch through the back. We're going to inhale to a neutral spine. Extend this left leg long. You're going to step that foot to the top of the mat. You're going to grab your blocks here. You want them on the tallest length. You're tucking your back toe, lifting that right knee above the mat. So you can stay here, and that's as far as you go, or you're shifting your weight into this left foot and then slowly lifting the leg up into warrior three. Then stepping the leg back down, knee grounds, plant the feet to the mat, extend the left leg long. And step that left foot forward. Tuck your back toes. You're moving slow here. Shifting the weight into the four corners of your foot and then lift, really press the mat away, lifting up into warrior three. You can use the blocks here. And then dropping that back foot down, knee down. Extend the leg behind you. Inhale. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, lift that back knee. And then lifting that back leg up. Really working this outer hip, this glute here. And then coming back down. And then coming back to your tabletop. Inhale, drop your belly cow. Exhale, release the spine to cat. Inhale to a neutral spine. Extend the right leg long. Step that foot forward. So you're really planting this right foot down, making a firm connection with the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift that knee up. You can stay here or lift up into warrior three. Going slow, really working this outer glute area. And stepping down. Extend that right leg long. Exhale, step forward. And lift up. You have three of these. Moving at a pace that makes sense to you. You're wanting to really slow this down. You're not moving fast. You're really building strength. You're making this muscle work. And stepping that back foot down. Step the knee back. Coming to tabletop. And you're shifting your hips back to child's pose. If this hurts your knees, come to puppy. Roll to your back. And then inhale, rounding through the spine to your tabletop. We're just going to bring the left arm underneath the body, coming to thread the needle. Planting the palm to the mat, pressing back up into tabletop, and then bring that right arm underneath the body to thread the needle. Shoulder and cheek come to the mat. Helpful here to keep your knees stacked over your hips stacked over your knees rather. And then coming back up into tabletop. We're going to come to our sit bones. But let's go ahead and plant the feet to the mat. Plant the palms behind you or come up onto your fingertips. I'm just going to gently windshield wiper from side to side. This isn't a big movement. And then you're going to hug your thighs to your belly. And then let the head be heavy. Nice gentle release for the spine. Shoulders relax away from the ears. You can add some movement if that feels good, or just be static. Some nice release for the lower back and spine. Just letting the weight of the head and gravity do the work here. And then lifting the head up gently. Walking the feet so they're hip width apart. You're just going to begin to lower on to your back here. And then when you get there, you're just going to let your spine decompress. And then taking the right ankle over the left thigh here. We're going to make this active. So this is a supine pigeon pose, but we're making it active, adding a little strengthening to our piriformis here. So pressing the ankle into the thigh and the thigh into the ankle. And if you want, you can gently press on your right thigh. You're not really pressing hard, you're just adding just a little bit of counter pressure here. You're mostly focusing here on pressing the ankle into the left thigh and the left thigh into that right ankle. You should feel this piriformis muscle fired up. Holding this just for a few seconds here. And then you're just going to exhale, release. So making this passive, you can lift the legs up, interlace the fingers behind that thigh, extend the leg long, you can add movement. And then release the foot down. Release both feet down, actually. And any movement here that you need to do just to reset. And then you're lifting this left leg up, bring the ankle across the right thigh. So what's important here is that you're pressing the ankle into the thigh and the thigh into the ankle. And then if you want, you can add some counter pressure here on your left thigh. You're feeling that left piriformis muscle. It's engaging, it's firing up. The only way to strengthen the piriformis is to have this femur bone at an external rotated angle like this. It's also the only way to stretch it. Breathing. And then you're just gonna let that be passive. You can stay here or begin to lift this right thigh up, interlace the fingers behind the thigh, and keep the knee bent, extend the legs long. If you have more mobility, you can always interlace the fingers across the shin there. You can add some movement. And then release the leg down, release both legs, and take a full body stretch, really arching in the back. Inhale. And then exhale, releasing into your Shavasana. We're just adding some gentle movement and taking a full body stretch. You're bending your knees, rolling to the right side in a fetal position, allowing a space here. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and press yourself up into an easy seated position of your choice. Palms to your heart space, bow your head. May there be peace in your thoughts. May there be peace in your words. May there be peace in your heart. And may you share that with all beings. Thank you so much for joining me with so much gratitude. Namaste. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure as always. The best way you can support me is to subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day.